Namaskara, hello and welcome to Swayam Mukh Basic Introduction course in Kannada. I am Varsha T. Nayak and I'll be your guide on this exciting journey into the Kannada language. One of the fundamental aspects of any language is its verb tenses, which help us understand when an action takes place. Today, we are going to focus on a very important tense in Kannada, the non-past tense. Now, the term non-past might sound a bit confusing at first. It's a grammatical concept that encompasses both the present and habitual or future actions. Think of it as a versatile tense that can describe what is happening now, what regularly happens, or what will happen. It's a bit like combined present and simple future tense in English, but with some nuances. In this session, we'll delve into the structure of the non-past tense in Kannada, learning how to form it and how to use it correctly in different contexts. We will explore the various suffixes and grammatical markers associated with this tense. We'll also look at plenty of examples to illustrate its usage in everyday conversations. Understanding the non-past tense is crucial for communicating effectively in Kannada, so pay close attention and don't hesitate to ask questions. Remember, learning a new language is a process and every step you take brings you closer to fluency. So are you ready to unlock the secrets of Kannada non-past tense? Let's begin. The non-past tense marker, tha or ut. In Kannada, the primary marker for the non-past tense is tha or its variant ut. It's crucial to understand that strictly speaking, modern spoken Kannada doesn't have a distinct present tense marker. Traditional grammars might describe tha as a present tense marker and va as a future tense marker, but in everyday conversations, the lines have blurred and tha or ut are now used as general non-past tense markers. Future ideas are generally expressed by adding time adverbs or other context to the non-past tense forms. The non-past tense is formed by combining the verb root with the non-past tense marker and a personal ending or termination. Here's the basic structure: verb root plus non-past tense marker plus personal ending. Let's break down a couple of examples using the verb hog, to go. Nanu hog plus tha plus ini becomes hogtini, hogtini or hoguttene, hoguttene, which means I will go. Here, nanu means I, hog means go, the verb root, tha non-past tense marker, ini first person singular ending. Similarly, navu hog plus tha plus ev becomes hogtivi, hogtivi or hogutteve, hogutteve. We will go or we go. Navu is we, hog means go, the root verb, and tha is the non-past tense marker and ev is the first person plural ending. Notice how the same form hogtini can express both I go, present or habitual, and I will go, future. The context of sentence or any added time expressions like nale, tomorrow, will clarify the intended meaning. For example, ನಾನು ಪ್ರತಿದಿನ ಶಾಲೆಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ತೀನಿ. ನಾನು ಪ್ರತಿದಿನ ಶಾಲೆಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ತೀನಿ. I go to school every day. This is a habitual sentence. ನಾನು ನಾಳೆ ಬೆಂಗಳೂರಿಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ತೀನಿ. ನಾನು ನಾಳೆ ಬೆಂಗಳೂರಿಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ತೀನಿ. I will go to Bengaluru tomorrow. This is the future form. The ut variant often appears when the verb root ends in a vowel. It helps to create a smoother pronunciation. Let's look at some examples. Nanu hog plus tha plus ini becomes hogtini, hogtini or ಹೋಗುತ್ತೇನೆ. ಹೋಗುತ್ತೇನೆ. I will go or I go. ನಾವು ಹೋಗ್ plus the plus ev becomes ಹೋಗ್ತೀವಿ. ಹೋಗ್ತೀವಿ or ಹೋಗುತ್ತೇವೆ. ಹೋಗುತ್ತೇವೆ. We will go. ನೀನು ಹೋಗ್ plus the plus EA becomes ಹೋಗುತ್ತೀಯೇ. ಹೋಗ್ತೀಯೇ. ಹೋಗ್ತೀಯೇ or ಹೋಗುತ್ತೀಯೇ. ಹೋಗುತ್ತೀಯೇ. You will go. ನೀವು ಹೋಗ್ plus the plus ಇರಿ becomes ಹೋಗ್ತೀರಿ. ಹೋಗ್ತೀರಿ or ಹೋಗುತ್ತೀರಿ. ಹೋಗುತ್ತೀರಿ. You will go. ಅವನು ಹೋಗ್ plus the plus ಆನೆ becomes ಹೋಗ್ತಾನೆ. ಹೋಗ್ತಾನೆ or ಹೋಗುತ್ತಾನೆ. ಹೋಗುತ್ತಾನೆ. He will go. ಅವಳು ಹೋಗ್ plus the plus ಆಳೆ becomes ಹೋಗ್ತಾಳೆ. ಹೋಗ್ತಾಳೆ or ಹೋಗುತ್ತಾಳೆ. ಹೋಗುತ್ತಾಳೆ. She will go. ಅವರು ಹೋಗ್ plus the plus ಆರೆ becomes ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ. ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ or ಹೋಗುತ್ತಾರೆ. ಹೋಗುತ್ತಾರೆ. He, she or they will go. ಅದು ಹೋಗು plus the plus a becomes ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ or ಹೋಗುತ್ತದೆ. ಹೋಗುತ್ತದೆ. It will go. ಅವು ಹೋಗ್ plus the plus ಅವೆ becomes ಹೋಗುತ್ತವೆ. ಹೋಗುತ್ತವೆ or ಹೋಗುತ್ತವೆ. ಹೋಗುತ್ತವೆ. Those will go. Observe the below give with e or a ending verbs. For example, take the verb bare. ನಾನು ಬರಿತೀನಿ or ಬರೆಯುತ್ತೇನೆ. I will write. ನಾನು ಬರಿತೀನಿ. ನಾನು ಬರಿತೀನಿ or ನಾನು ಬರೆಯುತ್ತೇನೆ. ನಾನು ಬರೆಯುತ್ತೇನೆ. I will write. ನಾವು ಬರಿತೀವಿ. ನಾವು ಬರಿತೀವಿ or ನಾವು ಬರೆಯುತ್ತೇವೆ. ನಾವು ಬರೆಯುತ್ತೇವೆ. We will write. ನೀನು ಬರಿತೀಯೇ. ನೀನು ಬರಿತೀಯೇ or ನೀನು ಬರೆಯುತ್ತೀಯೇ. You will write. ನೀವು ಬರಿತೀರಿ. ನೀವು ಬರಿತೀರಿ or ನೀವು ಬರೆಯುತ್ತೀರಿ. ನೀವು ಬರೆಯುತ್ತೀರಿ. You will write. ಅವನು ಬರೀತಾನೆ. ಅವನು ಬರೀತಾನೆ or ಅವನು ಬರೆಯುತ್ತಾನೆ. ಅವನು ಬರೆಯುತ್ತಾನೆ. He will write. ಅವಳು ಬರೀತಾಳೆ. ಅವಳು ಬರೀತಾಳೆ or ಅವಳು ಬರೆಯುತ್ತಾಳೆ. ಅವಳು ಬರೆಯುತ್ತಾಳೆ. She will write. ಅವರು ಬರೀತಾರೆ. ಅವರು ಬರೀತಾರೆ or ಅವರು ಬರೆಯುತ್ತಾರೆ. ಅವರು ಬರೆಯುತ್ತಾರೆ. He, she or they will write. ಅದು ಬರೆಯುತ್ತೆ. ಅದು ಬರೆಯುತ್ತೆ or ಅದು ಬರೆಯುತ್ತದೆ. ಅದು ಬರೆಯುತ್ತದೆ. It will write. ಅವು ಬರೆಯುತ್ತವೆ. ಅವು ಬರೆಯುತ್ತವೆ or ಅವು ಬರೆಯುತ್ತವೆ. ಅವು ಬರೆಯುತ್ತವೆ. Those or these will write. Similarly, let's look at one more example with the word ಕುಡಿ. ನಾನು ಕುಡಿತೀನಿ or ನಾನು ಕುಡಿಯುತ್ತೇನೆ. I will drink. ನಾವು ಕುಡಿತೀವಿ or ನಾವು ಕುಡಿಯುತ್ತೇವೆ. We will drink. ನೀನು ಕುಡಿತೀಯೇ or ನೀನು ಕುಡಿಯುತ್ತೀಯೇ. You will drink. ನೀವು ಕುಡಿತೀರಿ or ನೀವು ಕುಡಿಯುತ್ತೀರಿ. You will drink. ಅವನು ಕುಡಿತಾನೆ or ಅವನು ಕುಡಿಯುತ್ತಾನೆ. He will drink. ಅವಳು ಕುಡಿತಾಳೆ or ಅವಳು ಕುಡಿಯುತ್ತಾಳೆ. She will drink. ಅವರು ಕುಡಿತಾರೆ or ಅವರು ಕುಡಿಯುತ್ತಾರೆ. he, she or they will drink. ಅದು ಕುಡಿಯುತ್ತೆ or ಅದು ಕುಡಿಯುತ್ತದೆ. It will drink. ಅವು ಕುಡಿಯುತ್ತವೆ or ಅವು ಕುಡಿಯುತ್ತವೆ. Those or these will drink. Additional verbs with non-past tense. ಅವರು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. He or she or they will do. ಅವಳು ಬರ್ತಾಳೆ. He, she or they will come. ನಾನು ಕುಡಿತೀನಿ. I will drink. ನಾವು ಹೋಗ್ತೀವಿ. We will go. ಅವು ಸಿಗುತ್ತವೆ. Get those. Remember these key points. The or ut are the primary non-past tense markers. The non-past tense covers present and future actions. Context and time. Context and time expressions clarify the specific meaning. Now let's see how to form the non-past tense negation. Creating the negative in the Kannada non-past tense is surprisingly straightforward. You simply add the word Allah, Allah to the verb root. It's that easy. Let's take the verb tinnu as an example. Tinnu, to eat. Tinnu plus Allah becomes tinnalla. Tinnalla will not eat or does not eat. So tinnalla can mean both will not eat, future negative, and does not eat, present or habitual negative. Again, context will determine the precise meaning. A simple rule for E and A endings. There's one small but important rule to remember. If the verb root ends in E or A, you will need to add ya before Allah. Let's look at the verb kudi, to drink. Kudi plus ya plus Allah becomes kudi Allah. Kudi Allah will not drink or does not drink. Notice the ya inserted between kudi and Allah. This applies to all the verbs ending in E or A. No gender or number distinction. One of the nice things about Kannada negation is that it's very consistent. Unlike some languages, there's no distinction for gender or number in the negative construction. Whether you're talking about one person, many people, male or female, the negative form stays the same. Nanu tinnalla. Nanu tinnalla. I will not eat or I do not eat. Neenu tinnalla. Neenu tinnalla. You will not eat or you do not eat. Avaru tinnalla. Avaru tinnalla. They will not eat or they do not eat. Let's look at a few more examples to solidify your understanding. Madu means to do. Madu becomes madalla. Madalla will not do or does not do. No do, to see, becomes nodalla. Nodalla will not see or does not see. Bare, to write, becomes barealla. Barealla will not write or does not write. Remember the E ending rule? Barealla. Let me explain in the form again. Madu plus Allah becomes madalla. Kudi plus ya plus Allah becomes kudiyalla. Madu plus Allah becomes madalla. Odu plus Allah becomes odalla. Taru plus Allah becomes taralla. Baru plus Allah becomes baralla. Now let's look at interrogative forms with a. A common way to form yes or no questions in Kannada related to the non-past tense involves adding a to the negative form of the verb. This creates a question that expects a yes or no answer. For example, let's look at the examples I have provided and I'll explain them. Kodalva. Kodalva. Won't you give or don't you give? This is a form. Kodu, to give, becomes kodalla, will not give or does not give, plus a, interrogative marker, which becomes kodalva. Kodalva. Similarly, tinnalva. Tinnalva. Won't you eat or don't you eat? This is from tinnu, to eat. becomes tinnalla will not eat or do not eat in negation plus a interrogative marker which becomes tinnalva. Similarly, iralva. Iralva. Won't it be there or isn't it there? Or won't you be there or aren't you there? This is from iru to be which becomes iralla will not be or is not plus a interrogative marker. The meaning can vary slightly depending on the context. Similarly, togo plus alla becomes togolalla. Togolalva. Togolalva. Won't you take or don't you take? This is from togolu to take which becomes togolalla. Togolalla will not take or does not take plus a interrogative marker which becomes togolalva. Similarly, sigalva. Sigalva. Won't it be available or isn't it available? This is from sigu to be available which becomes sigalla will not be available or is not available plus a which is the interrogative marker which becomes sigalva. Sigalva. Notice how the structure is consistent. You take the negative form of the verb and simply add a to the end. This transforms the statement into a question. These questions can often be translated in a few different ways in English, as you can see from the examples. The best translation will depend on the specific context of the conversation. Let's look at more examples and their usage. Hogalva. Hogalva. Won't you go or don't you go? Madalva. Madalva. Won't you do or don't you do? Nodalva. Nodalva. Won't you see or don't you see? These are all common questions you might hear in everyday Kannada conversation. Let me brief the examples. Kodalva, Tinnalva, Iralva, Togolalva, Sigalva, and so on. Now, let's look at more examples. Observe the below sentences. ರಾಜು ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಕಾಫಿ ಕುಡಿತಾನೆ. ನಾನು ಸಿನಿಮಾಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗ್ತೀನಿ. ರವಿ ಶಾಲೆಯಿಂದ ಬರ್ತಾನೆ. ಕುಸುಮ ಈಗ ತಿಂಡಿ ಕೊಡ್ತಾಳೆ. ರಮೇಶ ಕಾಗದ ಬರೀತಾನೆ. Let's look at some examples for interrogatives with question words. ನೀವು 1 ಗಂಟೆಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ತೀರಿ? ನೀವು ಎಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಕಾಲೇಜಿಗೆ ಬರ್ತೀರಿ? ಅವರು ಎಷ್ಟು ಗಂಟೆಗೆ ಸಿನಿಮಾಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ? ನೀವು ಹಾಸ್ಟೆಲಿಂದ ಎಷ್ಟು ಗಂಟೆಗೆ ಸಿಟಿಗೆ ಹೊರಡ್ತೀರಿ? ನೀವು ಇವತ್ತು ಸಾಯಂಕಾಲ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ತೀರಿ? Let's look at some examples with interrogative marker a. ಅವರು ಮನೆಯಿಂದ ಬರ್ತಾರಾ? ನೀನು ಮನೆಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ತೀಯಾ? ನಿಮ್ಮ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಇನ್ನು ಯಾರಾದರೂ ಬರ್ತಾರಾ? ನೀನು ನನ್ನ ಜೊತೆ ಬರ್ತೀಯಾ? ಯಾವ ಯಾವ ಪೇಪರ್ಗಳನ್ನು ಹಾಕ್ತೀಯೇ? ನೀವು ತುಂಬ ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ? ನೀವು ಸಿನಿಮಾ ನೋಡ್ತೀರಾ? Let's do some practice exercises. Here are the fill in the blank exercises. You will have 3 seconds to guess the answer before I reveal it. Fill in the blanks with the present form of the verbs given in the brackets. Ramesha ಸಿನಿಮಾಕ್ಕೆ blank. The form is ಹೋಗು. ರಮೇಶ ಸಿನಿಮಾಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಾನೆ. ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮನೆಗೆ ಸರೋಜಾ blank. The form is ಬರು. ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮನೆಗೆ ಸರೋಜಾ ಬರ್ತಾರೆ or ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮನೆಗೆ ಸರೋಜಾ ಬರ್ತಾಳೆ. ಆ ಹುಡುಗಿ ಏನು ಬ್ಲ್ಯಾಂಕ್. ಆ ಹುಡುಗಿ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾಳೆ? ನಾವು ಪುಸ್ತಕ ಬ್ಲ್ಯಾಂಕ್. The verb is ತಗೋ, so it will be ನಾವು ಪುಸ್ತಕ ತಗೋತೀವಿ. ನೀನು ಯಾವಾಗ ಟೀ ಬ್ಲ್ಯಾಂಕ್. The verb is kudi. So, ನೀನು ಯಾವಾಗ ಟೀ ಕುಡಿತೀಯೇ? ನಾನು 4 ಗಂಟೆಯ ಬಸ್ಸಿಗೆ blank. The verb is ಹೊರಡು. So, the answer is ನಾನು 4 ಗಂಟೆಯ ಬಸ್ಸಿಗೆ ಹೊರಡ್ತೀನಿ. ಇವು ಯಾಕೆ ನನ್ನ ಹಿಂದೆ blank. The verb is ಬರು. ಇವು ಯಾಕೆ ನನ್ನ ಹಿಂದೆ ಬರುತ್ತವೆ? ನೀವು ಯಾಕೆ ನನ್ನನ್ನು ಹೀಗೆ blank. The verb is ನೋಡು. ನೀವು ಯಾಕೆ ನನ್ನನ್ನು ಹೀಗೆ ನೋಡ್ತೀರಿ? Now transform these into negative. ಕಮಲ ಕಾಫಿ ಕುಡಿತಾಳೆ. The negative form will be ಕಮಲ ಕಾಫಿ ಕುಡಿಯಲ್ಲ. ರಾಜು ಪತ್ರಿಕೆ ಮಾರುತ್ತಾನೆ. The negative form will be ರಾಜು ಪತ್ರಿಕೆ ಮಾರಲ್ಲ. ರವಿ ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟಿಂದ ಹಣ್ಣು ತರ್ತಾನೆ. The negative form will be ರವಿ ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟಿಂದ ಹಣ್ಣು ತರಲ್ಲ. ಬಿಂದು ಸೀಬೆ ಹಣ್ಣು ತಿಂತಾಳೆ. The negative form will be ಬಿಂದು ಸೀಬೆ ಹಣ್ಣು ತಿನ್ನಲ್ಲ. Here are the key points to remember. Kannada does not have distinction between present tense markers. The suffixes tha or ut are used to indicate both present and future tenses. The tense is determined by the context of the sentence and the use of time adverbs. The tense is formed by adding tha or ut and personal endings to the verb root. For example, we saw this in the beginning of the class. ನಾನು ಹೋಗುತ್ತೇನೆ. I go or I will go. ನಾವು ಹೋಗುತ್ತೇವೆ. We go or we will go. ನೀನು ಹೋಗುತ್ತೀಯೇ. You go or you will go. ನೀವು ಹೋಗುತ್ತೀರಿ. You go formal or you will go formal. ಅವನು ಹೋಗುತ್ತಾನೆ. He goes or he will go. ಅವಳು ಹೋಗುತ್ತಾಳೆ. She goes or she will go. ಅವರು ಹೋಗುತ್ತಾರೆ. They go or they will go. ಅದು ಹೋಗುತ್ತದೆ. It goes or it will go. ಅವು ಹೋಗುತ್ತವೆ. They go neuter or they will go, again neuter. Things to remember. Tha or ut are the important tense markers. These suffixes are used to indicate both present and future actions. Context and time adverbs provide the specific meaning. Here's some further information. For verbs ending in e or a, add ya before adding the tha suffix. For example, bare to write plus ya plus tha plus ini becomes bare to write plus ya plus tha plus ini becomes baritini. Baritini, I will write or I write. You can refer to grammar books for more examples and nuances. I hope this summary is helpful. Don't hesitate to ask if you have any further questions. In conclusion, this lesson covered the Kannada non-past tense, a versatile form that expresses both present and future actions. We learned that the marker tha or ut are key to forming this tense, and that context and time adverbs play a crucial role in distinguishing between present or habitual and future meanings. We also explored the negative form of this tense using Allah and the formation of yes or no questions by adding a. Remember that consistent practice is essential for mastering the nuances of the non-past tense and becoming comfortable with its usage in everyday Kannada conversation. This understanding is fundamental for building a solid foundation in the language. Thank you for joining me in this video. Namaskara.